Hello, thank you so much for agreeing to help us proctor our IB exams this year. We could not do it without your help. So this is, if you've done it before, this is almost exactly the same as last year. There's just a couple slight differences, but this is your official IB exam invigilator training. So our exams this year, IB has dictated that we have to start our morning exams at 9 a.m. and our afternoon exams at 1 a.m. So please, if you're volunteering with us, arrive by 8:40 for the morning and 12:40 for the afternoon. We'll let the students in about 10 minutes early, and we could probably use your help passing out cover sheets and things like that. One thing that's really important as you come into the exam room is make sure your phones are on silent, because we cannot have our phones going off or be on any sort of noise-making device during the exam. And technically, we're not really supposed to do any other work during the exam because we're going to be walking around the room. If you have to step out for a second and check something, that's totally fine. So one of us will go to the foyer and meet the students, and we will bring in the students either to the small gym, in the case of the anthropology exam, the large community room, or the library. We will post the location in the schedule, and I'll send out emails reminding people what they signed up for and where they are supposed to go. So when we let students into the exam, they need to be entirely silent. So as I bring them in, if you or Mr. Graham, if you can help them, just remember if someone's talking to shh, it's once they're in the room, it's total silence. The cover sheets will be set out for the students, and so they just find their cover sheet and sit at that spot. If a student has something out that you think they're not supposed to have, please let us know and we'll make sure we get it put away somewhere. And they'll leave their bags and purses in the library. They can't bring them into the exam room. So they can bring pens, pencils, an eraser, a ruler. If they're doing an exam in groups 3, 4, or 5, they can bring a translation dictionary. One of the geography exams allows colored pencils. And some of the exams will have calculators, but other than that, they can't have anything out at their desk. Definitely not phones, definitely not any type of watches, definitely not anything that beeps or makes noise. They can have clear water bottles only, and that includes removing the label off like a disposable water bottle. They can't have a pencil pouch, they can't share anything. And I'll definitely go over this with them so they'll know. As they're coming into the room, just walk around and make sure that they only have the permitted items, specifically look for watches, and then just take it from them and we'll put it somewhere. We also might ask you to help check student IDs. We'll ask the student to have the ID on the table at the beginning and then put that away, and maybe help them find their table if they don't know where they're going. So to start the exam, we have the exam in an envelope. We cut it open and we have to read instructions to them, and the coordinators are supposed to start every exam. We do have one day where we have 3 exams happening at the same time. So we'll be staggering our start times a little bit, and one of us will start one exam and then run off to start the other exam and then come back. So you'll be a little bit on your own at the beginning of that time. Please help us make sure that the time is visible to students in locations around the room. And this is important. They have 5 minutes of reading before the official exam time starts, but they can't mark, highlight anything. Just if you see a student with a pen or something at that time, tell them to put it down. During their exam, please walk around the room. Wayne or I will probably be sitting in the back of the room, except for part of the time we won't even be in the room because we have 2 really crazy days. We'll do things like keep the seating chart. One of the things we generally ask volunteers to do is help a student, accompany a student to the bathroom if they need to go. But basically you're just kind of watching to make sure nothing is prohibited or no one is doing anything they're not supposed to. One thing that's really important is you cannot leave the candidates unsupervised at any time. So if I've stepped out to go to another exam and a student needs to go to the bathroom, they just can't go. They have to wait. Other than candidates, invigilators, school personnel, coordinators, and authorized inspectors, no one is allowed in the room. So we can't have people kind of wandering in and out. If a student is sick but able to continue, just please say yes, try your best to do so. If there's a power failure or evacuation, we'll probably know about this. One thing is if you have to take kids out in the middle of the exam, make sure they're 6 feet apart. You have them, you can have them stand with their hands like that, and they can't talk. And if a student asks a question, about a question, just encourage them to make an attempt. You can't tell them how to answer a question, but you can just, encourage them a little bit. So if you suspect anyone is cheating, please let us know immediately. If a student's being disruptive, which I've never had in the times that I've been doing this, you have the ability and the right to expel a student from the exam, but don't kick someone out just because you think that they're cheating. Just ask us and we will take care of it. If a candidate is absent on their cover sheet, there's a little box that says candidate absent, and one of us will mark that. One thing is they can't leave the room, or they can't leave early. So IB has changed their policy, so saying that students can leave early if they're supervised the whole time, but we don't have the people power for this, so students can't leave early. As far as students arriving late, if a student is more than 60 minutes late, let us know, let Wayne or I know, and we'll make the decision whether they can attempt the exam or not. If it's a really short exam, there's not really much point, but we'll see what we can work out for them. So you don't have to make that determination. Ending the exam, one thing that's helpful is to help the students put their paper in the correct order. The answer sheet goes on top, then the exam paper, then the answer booklet. And if there's graph paper, that would be at the bottom. They put it all together in a string tag. This is what the cover sheet looks like. They often have questions about how to fill this out, and I'll be there to help them, but they write the section in the question. If they've done all the questions in a section, they can just write all. Then this is what the exam paper looks like, and they'll be putting their question numbers over on that side. So finishing up, everything needs to be collected before they leave. A candidate can't take exam paper, they can't take anything with them. So we need to have it all together, and we need to collect it in the order we passed it out and count and make sure we have everything, and then we put it into these little special envelopes and seal it up. And we should do this all in the exam room, but most likely Wayne and I will be the ones doing that. If you're reading instructions to candidates during the exam, which I don't think any of you will be doing, please make sure you're just familiar with the candidate instructions in the I have an invigilator instructions booklet that is going to go out with this email or this video, and they're in that booklet, but I highly doubt you will be having to read any instructions. After students leave the exam, again, I think we will be doing this as well. Just help us collect the materials. That's the main thing we need you to do. And we really appreciate your help. And if you have any questions about any of this, please send me an email. And again, thank you. We could not do this without you. Have a great day.